You thought being strong would make you free? No, it makes you responsible. Because the moment you rise, the moment you escape the trap of mediocrity, the moment you prove you are more, the world will try to pull you back. Your obligations will grow. People will look to you for answers. You will no longer have the luxury of ignorance. And if you fall alone. This is what separates the real from the fake. Because true freedom isn't about having nothing to lose. It's about being strong enough to carry the weight. So I ask you now, are you still willing to pay the price? Are you willing to let go of comfort, to cut off weakness, to face pain and isolation head-on with no guarantee of reward? Or will you turn back, like the rest? Will you shrink into the safety of the herd, content with excuses, happy to live a life that never demands more from you? The choice is yours. But understand this: strength isn't given. It's taken. It's earned. Through the nights you wanted to quit, but didn't. Through the battles that nearly broke you, but instead made you sharper. Through the fire you walked through alone when no one was watching. You don't get to be unbreakable without first being shattered. And most will never have the stomach for it. But you wouldn't still be here if you weren't different. You wouldn't still be listening if some part of you wasn't already paying the price. So keep going. Burn the bridges back to weakness. Let the pain carve you into something stronger. Walk forward knowing that every step costs something, but that the man who emerges on the other side, he will be unstoppable. They tell you to be strong, to rise above, to build discipline, but they never tell you what it costs. Because true strength isn't given, it's earned. And the price is everything you once were. Do you know what it means to be unbreakable? It means you've already been broken. Not once, not twice, but so many times that you lost count. It means the version of you that existed before, the one who was soft, who was fragile, who still needed validation, was crushed under the weight of reality. And in its place, something colder, something sharper, something that cannot be extinguished was born. But strength is expensive, and most people aren't willing to pay for it. The first cost of unbreakable strength? Isolation. Look around. Look at the people you once called friends. Look at the ones who laughed with you, who shared in your weakness, who made you feel safe. You want to be strong. You want to rise above. Then understand this: you cannot take them with you. They will resent you. They will mock you. They will call you obsessive. They will call you delusional. And when you no longer bend to their comfort, when you refuse to be weak alongside them, they will call you dangerous. Let them. You don't need their approval. You never did. The only people who will ever understand the path you walk are those who have bled for it themselves, the ones who suffered in silence, the ones who had to kill the weaker versions of themselves over and over until only steel remained. But that is the cost. Strength isolates you from the world of the weak. And that's why most people stay exactly where they are, because it's easier to belong than to stand alone. It's easier to lower yourself to their level than to rise and be hated for it. So I ask you, are you willing to stand alone? Because if not, you will never be strong. The second cost? Pain. Not just physical pain. No. The kind of pain that turns men into legends. The kind of pain that breaks you open from the inside. The kind that forces you to stand up alone, in the cold, in the dark, and face yourself with no distractions, no lies, and no escape. Because here's the truth. Weak men avoid pain. Strong men endure it. And And the unbreakable? They learn to love it. Pain is the toll you pay to level up. The gym, the discipline, the rejection, the hunger, the failures. Every scar is a receipt for a version of yourself that no longer exists. Every wound is proof that you didn't break. If you're not willing to suffer, you don't deserve to be strong. There is no shortcut. No easy way through. Just the suffering you endure, or the suffering that owns you. And that's what people will never tell you. Real pain isn't something you escape. It's something you embrace. Because the more you run from it, the more it hunts you down. The more you avoid the fire, the weaker you become. But if you stand in it, if you let it burn away the excuses, the fears, the hesitation, you become something else entirely. You become unbreakable. The third cost? Freedom. You thought being strong would make you free? No. It makes you responsible. Because the moment you rise, the moment you escape the trap of mediocrity, the moment you prove you are more, the world will try to pull you back. Your obligations will grow. People will look to you for answers. You will no longer have the luxury of ignorance. And if you fall alone. This is what separates the real from the fake. Because true freedom isn't about having nothing to lose. It's about being strong enough to carry the weight. Most people want the rewards of strength, but not the responsibility. They want the power, but not the burden. But that's not how it works. You can be free, or you can be weak, but you cannot be both. So I ask you now, are you still willing to pay the price? Are you willing to let go of comfort? To cut off weakness? To face pain and isolation head-on with no guarantee of reward? Or will you turn back, like the rest? Will you shrink into the safety of the herd, content with excuses, happy to live a life that never demands more from you? The choice is yours. But understand this, strength isn't given. It's taken. It's earned through the nights you wanted to quit, but didn't. Through the battles that nearly broke you, but instead made you sharper. Through the fire you walked through alone when no one was watching. You don't get to be unbreakable without first being shattered. And most will never have the stomach for it. No. They will break the moment it gets hard. They will fold the second the price becomes too high. But you wouldn't still be here if you weren't different. You wouldn't still be listening if some part of you wasn't already paying the price. So keep going. Burn the bridges back to weakness. Let the pain carve you into something stronger. Walk forward, knowing that every step costs something, but that the man who emerges on the other side, he will be unstoppable. Understanding the cost of strength is one thing. Living it is another. Most people hear these words and feel a spark, a momentary fire in their chest. But then they go back to their old ways. They nod in agreement, but never take action. You will not be like them, because knowledge without execution is worthless. Strength isn't built by understanding concepts. It's built in the trenches, through daily war, through relentless discipline, through an unshakable mindset. Here's how you apply this. Step 1. Cut off weakness. Without mercy. The first thing you must do is identify the weak parts of yourself and eliminate them. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. Weakness thrives in excuses. It hides in comfort. It whispers to you every morning, you deserve rest. You can start later. No, later never comes. The only time that exists is now. So start by cutting out what is making you soft. What are you consuming? The videos, the social media, the news, the junk that floods your mind with distraction and weakness. Cut it. You become what you absorb. And if you feed on nonsense, on mental poison, you will rot from the inside out. What about the people around you? The ones who hold you back, who make you feel guilty for wanting more, who would rather see you stay average so they don't have to confront their own failures. Cut them off. This doesn't mean you must be heartless, but it does mean that you will not carry dead weight. They will either rise with you or fall away. Make this rule absolute. If it weakens me, it doesn't belong in my life. Step 2. Make pain your ally. Most people avoid pain. They dodge discomfort like it's the enemy. But pain is the only thing that will transform you. So lean into it. Find your suffering and own it. Wake up earlier than you want to. Push yourself further than you think you can. Lift heavier. Run longer. Work harder. Face rejection. Train your mind to understand that pain is not a signal to stop. It is the signal that you are growing. Your workouts should hurt. Your discipline should feel like a war. If it's easy, you're not doing it right. If your days feel comfortable, you're not pushing hard enough. Remember this: pain is your proof that you are not like the rest. While they sit in comfort, growing weaker, you are sharpening yourself into something indestructible. So stop avoiding pain. Seek it. Welcome it. Use it. Step 3. Destroy the illusion of safety. Weak people cling to the idea that life is meant to be easy, that they should be safe, protected, comfortable. But the world doesn't care about their delusions. The truth? You are either prepared or you're prey. So kill the illusion of safety. Stop thinking that someone is coming to save you. Stop believing that things will magically get better on their own. Stop waiting for permission. Your mind must be wired for war. Wake up every day knowing that it is your responsibility to protect yourself, to build your wealth, to carve your own future. No one is coming to do it for you. So take extreme ownership. If you are weak, it is your fault. If you are undisciplined, it is your fault. If your life is not where you want it to be, it is your fault. And that is the most powerful truth you will ever embrace. Because once you accept that everything is on you, you take back control. Step 4. Train relentlessly in mind and body. A strong body without a strong mind is useless, and a strong mind inside a weak body is a contradiction. You must build both. Physical training. Lift heavy. Train like your life depends on it, because it does. Move every single day. A warrior does not sit still. Stop eating garbage. Every bite is either making you stronger or making you weaker. Choose wisely. Push past your limits. Your body can endure more than your mind tells you. Test it. Break it. Rebuild it. Stronger. Mental training. Read powerful books. Feed your mind like you feed your muscles. Develop absolute focus. Cut out distractions. Train your ability to work without breaks, without excuses. Master your emotions. Control them, or they will control you. Cultivate an indestructible mindset. Remind yourself every day, nothing can break me. Nothing can stop me. Nothing will shake my resolve. Step 5. Burn the bridges to weakness. The reason most people fail? They leave themselves an escape route, a backup plan, a way to return to comfort if things get too hard. That ends today. You must make failure impossible. You must burn every bridge back to the life you no longer accept. You must remove all options except forward. If you want to quit your bad habits, destroy the ability to return to them. If you want to become disciplined, remove everything that tempts you to be lazy. If you want to win, make failure so painful that you would rather die than go back to who you were before. There is no other way. Weakness will whisper to you in the dark, but it will have nowhere to go. Because you will have sealed every exit. Step 6. Seek out harder battles. Strength is not a destination. It is a war you fight every day. And the moment you think you have won, the moment you believe you have done enough, you have already lost. So keep pushing. Find bigger challenges. Seek out greater obstacles. If your life is too easy, you are decaying. If you are not being tested, you are not growing. Make a list of things that scare you, things that push you beyond your comfort. Now do them. This is how you level up. This is how you ensure that you are always evolving into something greater. If you do this, if you truly embrace this path, understand one thing: the world will turn against you. People will not celebrate your transformation. They will attack it. They will call you arrogant. They will say you have changed. No, they have stayed the same. And that is why they despise you. Because every step you take forward is a reminder of their own weakness. Every ounce of strength you gain is proof that they could have done the same, but didn't. And so they will try to drag you down. They will try to guilt you back into comfort. They will mock your discipline, your drive, your ambition. Do not flinch. Do not explain yourself. Do not stop. Your mission is not to be liked. Your mission is not to be understood. Your mission is to rise. If they want to come with you, let them prove it. If they stand in your way, crush them. This is the cost of strength, and most will never pay it. But you are not most people. You were not born to be like them. You would not still be listening if some part of you didn't already know that this is your path. So take the first step. Cut the weakness. Embrace the suffering. Burn the bridges. Seek the war. And when you look back, in a year, in 5 years, in 10, you will see a man who cannot be broken. And you will know, without a doubt, it was worth the price.